Peace, 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 love, light, and healing, peace, love, light, and healing, peace to the gods, peace to the earths. Y'all climb on in. Climb on in, family. Peace, love, light, and healing. How y'all feeling? How y'all doing? Blessings, blessings, beloved. Peace, gods. Peace, goddesses. What's up? Yo, yo, yo. Y'all climb on in. Shalom, shalom lacha, shalom lachaim. Blessings, family. Hotep, hotep. Namaste, namaste. Assalamu alaikum. All walks of life are welcome. As long as you ain't on no dark demonic stuff, you welcome. We can build. Peace, God. Peace, Almighty. How you feeling, Lord? Blessed goddesses. How you doing, Earths? I want to talk about 5 things that you can immediately start doing. Like, you can start today, and it will change your life tremendously, y'all. Like, if you start these 5 things right now, or if you pay attention to these 5 things that we're going to be talking about, you can start your healing journey ASAP. You can start feeling better within a month or 2. I mean, you can really, really raise your vibrational frequency. And you can start healing your mind, body, spirit, and soul. So y'all climb on in. Of course, make sure you get your pens and your pads, and we're going to talk about it. And at the end, if y'all remind me, I will answer some questions. But please, you know, for the comment board's sake, y'all pay attention. Y'all make sure y'all writing down and jotting down all of this this download and upload that we finna go across. And then y'all can ask y'all questions when y'all done. So we're going to talk about 5 things that if you correct, or 5 things that if you start working on right now, how it will change your entire life, y'all. I promise you. Or if you don't believe me, all you got to do is try these things, okay? Iron levels. We'll talk about iron too. It was crazy because iron is what we finna talk about too anyway. So once y'all got y'all pens and y'all pads, y'all type in some 9s. Once you get your pens and your pads, type in some 9s. Thank you, thank you. I like it too. It say Hebrew on it. Hebrew, Abari. All right, blessings, blessings. Okay, so let me make sure I got my other phone on too. Hold on, y'all, because I'm going live. I'm recording myself from 2 different phones, plus I'm live because you know they be snatching down my videos. So just in case, I'm going to have a couple recordings too. That way I can upload it again on my YouTube. So I'm going to put this one right here. Hold on, let me get this one recording over here. All right, make sure y'all live. Okay, so I got three phones going right now. So the first 5 things I'm going to talk about. The first thing I'm going to talk about, that if we really pay attention to these 5 things, you know, you can really heal yourself. First thing you have to do is you have to look at where you at. We are on planet Earth, y'all. And Earth is very, very corrupted right now, and it's very, very polluted. And that's one of the main things that's really attacking our health right now. And it's just the pollution of the air, the pollution of the water, the pollution of the food, GMO foods. I mean, they just putting poison in everything that got something to do with Earth right now is very, very toxic and is very stressful. So just by you being in this earthly realm right now and in this 3-dimensional realm of density of Earth, you're going to catch a lot of blowback from the acidic, toxic waste and the pollution that's building up in Earth. So since we know that, and since we know that our vehicles, or what we call our avatars, our bodies, is being subjected to Earth dying because they are literally killing Mother Earth, then we have to take preventive measures and steps to make sure that we are sustaining our bioavailability of minerals, of nutrients, of air, of water, and everything. And it's literally one answer to heal all of this stuff, y'all. And I'm going to start off with the answer just for people that don't want to go through all of the details. If you start growing your own food, if you can find some land with natural water resources on it, this will literally heal all of your problems. All right. So that's the answer off back. Start growing your own food. Find you some good land and start growing your own food, and find you some land with some water resources on it. This is going to cut off all of your water. This is going to cut out anything that they taint in the water, whether they put atrazine in the water that's producing these gender bender qualities, that's making males very effeminate, that's making females very masculine. This will take out the atrazine, the aluminum, the arsenic acid. This will automatically fix your water problem immediately. Now, if you can't find land with water on it, what you can do is you can grow your own fruit trees depending on where you at in your geographical location. And you can actually use the fruits as your H3O2 water constituent, such as I do. Now, if you can't do that too, you can go to the store. Say today, I didn't feel like drinking fruits and stuff like that, but I've been busy and I've been on the go all day. And I'm not promoting these people, but I'm just saying you can get coconut water in a bottle. It's a good source of coconut water right now. It's pink. It start off, it's clear, but when it go through its oxidative stress, and then all the water molecules get pulled from it, it do turn pink. But it still have a lot of electrolytes in it. It still have all the minerals, all the vitamins and everything you need. And again, coconut is the closest thing to assimilates the black woman breast milk too, her breast milk composition. So you can do things like this if you on the go, if you on a run all day, if you busy and you ain't got time to literally sit down and clean your fruit and prep your fruit and stuff like that. There's other things that you can do. But the first thing, y'all, this is the end game. Our end goal should be finding our own land, testing our own land, making sure that the land is not stripped of all its minerals. If it is, put minerals back into the land. Make sure that we're growing trees, growing fruit trees. That way we can bring oxygen back to the land. You see that? Find a water source. And if you can't find the water source, you can even collect rainwater. Now, understand that the pollution of the earth is now, it's acidic rain falling down. It's straight acid rains. And I look at the reports every year, and the acid rain content is crazy that come to America and South America. It literally rains acid rain. But you have all types of filtering mechanism where you can collect that rainwater through your gutters, and it'll go through this big old barrel, and it will filtrate itself through these little systems that will alkaline that natural reverse osmosis water in the first place. So it's so many steps that we can do, but we must have our own land. If you look at creation and how man came and landed on earth, it's the same concept as buying land. Man is supposed to land. We're supposed to land on earth, especially when you start getting into your prokaryotic cells and how, melanated or aboriginal or melanated beings actually come from the heavens. We're prokaryotic cells, and over time we actually, evolved into eukaryotic cells or eukaryotes to sustain life here on earth. We come from outer space to land on earth anyway. So the whole concept of you living is to have land and enjoy the fruits of your labor, which is working the land that you landed on. So land is not, that's not an option. We have to get our own land, family. You got to. And if you look and you notice, every nation have their own land. Every nation have their own language. Every nation have their own culture. Every nation have their own traditions. Every nation have their own food. Every nation have their own everything. And we need to have our own. And we had our own, but it was stripped from us, through psychological warfare. It was stripped through us through biochemical warfare. It was stripped through us through educational warfare. It was stripped through us through color warfare, television warfare. So we have been, war have been subjecting on us, for especially the Aboriginal people of Americas, which is me and a lot of millions of brothers and sisters that's out here that actually think that they're from the continent of Africa when they're truly not. They actually from the Americas. So war been waged on us for so long. So not only is we suffering from the pollution of earth, but we also suffering from amnesia. And how you bring a people into amnesia is by giving them drugs. And I'm not just talking about drugs that is given to us by the pharmaceutical companies, but I'm talking about drugs that's like your foods, because the foods we're eating, which bring me to my first point. The first thing is we have to stop the anti-nutrients. And that's the first thing they do to us. They drug us up with the anti-nutrient food. We need nutrient-dense food. But what they do is they give you food that's been over-processed, that they strip all the nutrients out of. They package it up and make it look good. Sometimes they put carbon dioxide or carbon monoxide in it to sustain it. Then they add preservatives and additives to it. Then they package it up, make it look pretty. And then they get the world big food industries and corporations to actually program you into buying these things. You end up liking and loving these things because they're telling you what to like and love, because they spend billions of dollars a year on scientists and psychologists and psychiatrists to mind trick you into believing that these foods are really good for you when they not. So you go to the store, and instead of going to the produce section of the store, which we should get past that too and start going to local farmers market, or we should start growing our own food in our front and backyards. All of this this grass green is cut, that got linings and trimmings, and the bush is just trimmed and it looks so beautiful. We got to get away from that. That's the America with the white picket fence analogy. We got to get away from that analogy. We don't need grass no more in our yards. We need fruit trees. We need to be growing lettuces. We need wells that we digging in our yards. Our yards need to look raggedy and full of life, full of food that we can go out and we can pick, whether we're in the front yard or the backyard. Since we don't have that no more, we're depending on another people, or we're depending on a system or a tyranny government to actually give us our food. And what they're doing is they're sedating us with the food. Not only is they messing with the nutrients and taking all the nutrients out of the food and making it basically nutrient depleted, they're also tinkering with the protein, fat, and salt and water ratio of the food. And when you start messing and imbalancing the chemistry of the food, these chemistries start literally hooking on to receptors of your brain, like your opioid receptors of your brain, your dopamine receptors of your brain, and it start tricking you into either wanting to eat more. It tricks you into being happy. Some foods can actually trick you into depression and trick you into being sad because they're messing with melanin neurotransmitters on your brain. That's the reason why you have receptors, because they're receiving something. So if you look at it receiving, then you have to see where the signals or the output is coming from. These signals and these outputs are actually coming from the foods that we're eating. So we have to watch that. We need to actually stay away from anti-nutrient food, and we need to actually start buying nutrient-dense food. The best way to buy nutrient-dense food is to grow your own food or go to your local farmer's market. If you cannot go to your local farmer's market, make sure that you go to the grocery store and you shop purely organic in the produce aisle. Purely organic. This is where you're going to get most of your nutrients from. But I'm telling you, we got to get away from that too, because we're on the road a lot. So we go to the produce section and we get the produce, but you can tell that they're freezing it to save it, because the moment you buy strawberries and you put it in your refrigerator and you take it out the refrigerator for 5 minutes, it starts going through its oxidative stress stage and you start seeing it molding and then fermentation kick in. All of the strawberries we've been getting corroded within 5 minutes being outside of my refrigerator, y'all, within the last 2 weeks. Every strawberry we get, it look beautiful, they look full, they look healthy. Soon as we buy them from the produce section, then the moment we take it out of the refrigerator and put it on the counter, say if I want to make some acai or something, you come back 5 minutes, 10 minutes later, you start seeing mold spores growing on it, showing you that they are freezing this food, y'all, making you believe that this stuff is fresh when it's not. Or the same thing with kale greens. You just go buy some kale greens organically grown. The moment you take it to the house, don't leave it sitting out for long, or God forbid, ain't got no lemons or key limes to add some extra antioxidants on it. It's going to start turning that copper color and it's going to start tarnishing itself, showing you that even in the fresh produce aisle, these things are not even fresh, y'all. And you got to think about it. We have to start cutting in half, the food and body relationships of people. Food don't have to touch a million hands before it get to you. It should only touch your hands. Go to the kitchen, you wash it off, and then you eat it and you feed it and you cook it and you eat it and feed it to your family. It shouldn't have to go through farmers, and then the farmers got to put it on trucks. This means the truck drivers got to pick it up. Sometimes they got to freeze it. This got to go to another person. Then they got to go through a thing where they add additives and preservatives to it to make it last longer. Then people got to pack it up in the truck. People got to unload it on the truck. Then they got to go to this assistant and that assistant. Then they got to wrap it up, make sure it's cool. Then they got to stock it on the shelf. By the time you get your food, it done touched 100 hands. 100 hands. And this stuff happened within 30 days. So you're not even getting the actual gift of picking it straight from your garden and putting it in your mouth. And we wonder why we're missing all of our nutrients. Now, when you break down the chemical composition of nutrients, we're talking about phytochemicals. These are light code frequencies like bioflavonoids and biophotons and what you would call vital amines. This is actually where you get vital minerals from, or you get it from vital minerals or vital amines. This is where you get vitamins from, and this is where you actually get minerals, essential minerals that you need from your body. You see what I'm saying? So when you look at nutrients, we need nutrients, because what nutrients is your amino acids. And you need amino acids because amino acids, not proteins, but amino acids are the true building blocks of creation. Not saying that these are the first things in existence, because the first things in existence is actually the microbiota kingdom, or what we call the microorganism kingdom. That's what builds the cells. That's what builds elements. That's what builds atoms, protons, electrons, neutrons. The whole biochemistry element of creation actually come from these microorganisms, single cell organisms called prokaryotic cells. But if you look at phytonutrients, these phytonutrients are made of amino acids. These are the building blocks of your cells and of your DNA. So we have to make sure that we have phytonutrients and nutrients inside of our food, especially nutrient-dense food and not anti-nutrients. This will cut your sickness in half automatically. All right, so look, we have to get rid of the anti-nutrients. The best way to do that is by growing your own food, going to locals, farmers market, getting the food. And if you can't do that, go to the produce. But as soon as you buy the food, make sure you eat it. The second thing is dehydration, y'all. We have to check dehydration. But a lot of y'all have a misconception of what dehydration really is. You think that hydrating means to put water inside of your body. That is not the concept of hydration. True hydration is having the right amount of balanced minerals inside of your body. Because that's the reason why you drink water or drink H3O2 in the first place, is to get the electrolytes from this liquid substance. And the only way you're going to get this electrolytes from a liquid substance that go through a spring bed, or what you call spring water, is by way of rocks. That's what make spring water alkaline. It's the rocks that is rubbing up against when it's going through a stream. You then drink that and you're taking the minerals, these positively charged and negatively charged minerals, or what they call cations or anions. We're talking about electricity here. Same thing when you talk about alkaline and acids. Alkaline and acids is not really talking about something burning and something cooling down. Alkaline is hot as hell and acids is hot as hell. This is talking about the bioavailability of electricity flowing through minerals. That's what you call alkaline base or acidic acidosis. And we're going to talk about that too. But right now, we're just talking about dehydration and how to truly hydrate your body. How to truly hydrate your body the quickest is skipping H2O and going straight to H3O2. And this is literally your fruit water, y'all. I've been talking about this for years now, y'all. In fact, I done started a whole movement talking about this. Not saying that I'm the first person that created this or came up with it. I'm just saying I really brought this to the forefront of black people, H3O2. I single-handedly did that. So if you start drinking H3O2, which a lot of people, millions of people have been drinking it, and you will see the feedback that I'm getting in my emails. You see the feedback that I'm getting on YouTube. You see the feedback I'm getting on here. Drinking H3O2 would literally bring all the phytochemical, the phytonutrients you need, all the electrolytes you need, all the minerals you need, and all the amino acids. This is the only food on planet Earth that actually do that, where you can drink something and you can eat it simultaneously at the same time. So if you want to get quick hydration, you have to get on your fruit water or H3O2. And that's basically juicing your fruit, or getting things like coconut, or juicing things like cucumbers, because cucumbers is actually more hydrative, gives you more hydration than coconut water. Simple cucumbers is 99%, literally 98.9% water. And this is H3O structured water, meaning that it comes with information, it comes with vitality, it comes with all of the sugars you need, your fructose, your glucose, it comes with all the amino acids you need, not proteins, but amino acids. It comes with all the phytochemicals you need, the biophotons, which is light cold spectrums that's in it. Everything you need is going to come from them cucumbers. So that's the second thing. Make sure you hydrating. I will not say 64 ounces of water a day. That will drown you, and it will flush out all of your minerals, and it will flush out all of your amino acids. So make sure that you're not drinking a gallon of water a day, even if you're dehydrated. The less you're supposed to drink is probably around, I say 32 ounces. The most you're supposed to drink is up to 50 ounces, especially if you're drinking juices, because it's super hydrative. So you don't have to drink your juices like that. Now, if you are drinking some type of spring water, don't drink no 64 ounces a day. You know, stay around that 50 ounce area, at the lowest 32 ounces, y'all. Because, you know, a lot of people get edema. You get very edemic from it. And again, it literally flushes out all of your minerals. So make sure that we're not drinking too much water. Water is H2O. It's very toxic when you drink it in large quantities. And that's the reason why they do not give it to babies. And they tell you don't give it to babies unless your baby is 6 months to a year old, because they know the toxemia of water and how it flushes out and how it imbalances the electrolyte spectrum inside the body. So that's the first one. The first one is we have to avoid anti-nutrients. The second one is we have to avoid dehydration. The third one is called metabolic acidosis. All right. And this either can come from your foods, whether it's alkaline foods or whether it's actually acid forming foods. And in order to understand this, you have to understand what alkaline acids is. A lot of us have been miseducated on what alkaline acids is, and we do it through the most stupidity ways. You think that by you testing your food and it shows up acid, that don't mean it's alkaline forming. In fact, most of your healthy foods are acid, y'all. If we talk about an apple right now is acidic. It's at a 5.4 on the potential or powered hydrogen scale. We're talking about the balance of hydrogen, which is the first element on your periodic table. This is the atom that creates the Elohim or Yahweh, or what we call God. This atom is the Yod Hey Wahe, that H, that Hey, that stands for hydrogen. So when you check your food, or if you check a coconut water, or if you check an apple, if you check a peach, if you check a pear right now, it's going to read acidic 5.4, some of them even down to 3.5 on the potential hydrogen scale. These are some of your most healthiest food. For instance, my favorite fruit to estrange cancer out of the body is grapes. Grapes is at a 3.2 on the potential hydrogen scale when you actually check the liquid that comes from grape. It's at a 3.2 on grapes. And I'm talking about organically grown, full of seeds grapes is at a 3.2 on the potential hydrogen scale. But we know grapes is astringent. We know that the tannins and all the bioflavonoids actually pulls cancerous cells from the body. And we know that grapes is very hydrative to the body, meaning that it will hydrate the body. But if we look at it, hold on, how is it acidic? But when you eat it and it goes through its metabolic process, all metabolic mean is the rate of turning or converting over into minerals. Then you check the ash that it leaves behind. Notice that it's alkaline forming. So we have to change our whole concept of what alkaline acids is, because you can eat some acid forming foods, like for instance an alkaline forming food, like for instance an avocado starts off very alkaline, but if you eat too many of them, it turns acidic in the body. Same thing for quinoa. Quinoa actually starts out alkaline, but the moment you eat it and it goes through its metabolic process, it produces phosphorus. If it leaves behind a phosphorus acid, that means that it's acid in chemistry, even though it starts off alkaline when you test it on a meter outside of your body. So we don't care if it's alkaline or acid when it's sitting on the table somewhere. We care if it's alkaline or acids after we eat it and then it goes through its metabolic process in our body and it leaves behind the ash. And the reason why I'm talking about this is because y'all literally think that alkaline acids is talking about water or talking about fruits or talking about this and that. It's not. Alkaline acids is based off a chemistry, metabolic acidosis or metabolic alkalosis. And this metabolic process is all talking about the ash and the minerals being left behind for electricity can conduct itself in a currency through the ash. So if you eat, for instance, quinoa, outside the body is going to read alkaline. It's literally at a neutral point, at a 7.1 to a 7.2. But the moment you eat quinoa and then you chew it down and it breaks down and it goes through its metabolism in the body, it's going to leave in the duodenum, not even before it gets to your poop. Inside the duodenum, it leaves back an ash. And this ash have phosphorus in it. Not only do this ash have phosphorus in it, but the ash have a buildup of sulfur in it. This is what you would call what? Acid forming food. Even though it started off alkaline, it turned into an acid when it went through its metabolic process. Now, when you're dealing with sulfur and you're dealing with phosphorus or phosphorus acid, guess what? Electricity cannot pass through it fast. So they will call this a acid forming food because the corrosive acidity from the food is stopping the electrical current, which is what we call the nervous system, the parasympathetic nervous system, the sympathetic nervous system, the autonomic nervous system, and the enteric nervous system. It stops it from passing melanin neurotransmitters between all different aspects of your body or different consciousness of your body. That is what you call an acid forming food. The same way as if you go to your car and you get corrosive acids on your battery post, then you try to start your car, it won't start up because you have acids forming on the battery post. So this alkaline battery can't charge up and send electricity to your actual starter to turn the car on. But the moment you pop the hood and you clean off the acids with Coca-Cola or something and you connect the battery post back again and then you start the car up, it starts right up. So what was stopping the currency? What was stopping the flow of energy? What was stopping the electricity? It was the acid ash that was actually brought up by the corrosive chemistry of the acids that was built up on the battery post. It's the same exact thing, even though you had an alkaline battery. So what stopped the alkaline battery? The acids that the alkaline battery produced it itself, showing you that alkaline foods, if your body is not getting rid of it fastly, can produce corrosive environments as well. Now, so the reason why I'm talking about this is because you got sodium, or what you'll call sodium bicarbonate. This is produced by the pancreas. This is a alkaline secretion that's secreted by the pancreas. You have amylase and amylose, which is alkaline secretions that's produced by the mouth. So sodium, potassium, and calcium. If these three ashes are left over during the metabolic process and after you process the food, this will actually bring a good conductivity of electricity. They say that is alkaline forming foods. Usually these foods, 99% of the time, start off acids. Then when it goes through its metabolic process, they end up alkaline because the mineral ash, or what you call alkaline ash, they left behind, which is potassium, K+, which is calcium, and C+, C8+, and which is sodium, which is Na+, or sometimes Na negative if you get into the biochemistry terms. Now, if it's left over, you see sulfur, you see phosphorus, and you see chlorine. These things is what produces your uric acid and nitrogen, your nitric acid, your sulfuric acid, and your carbonic acid. Electricity cannot pass through it fast enough to keep the melanin neurotransmitters connected properly and convey any information throughout the body. So they call these things acid forming. Even though all of them are conducting electricity, it's just about the speed of electricity through the minerals is what they base on acid and alkaline, y'all. That is the truth. These are facts. And if you think I'm lying, look it up. So we have to truly understand what acid and alkaline is. So once you check your anti-nutrients and you start eating nutrient-dense food, then you check your dehydration and you start hydrating your body with H3O2 and H2O. If you can't find H3O2, or if the H3O2 diet is too expensive, I'm not saying that water won't do the job. I'm just saying I love to go as far as I can go. So I'm going to go to the H3O2, right? Then we check our metabolic acidosis and turn it into alkalinity, metabolic alkalinity, making sure that we eating things that's going to convert itself, not already start off, but it's going to convert itself into calcium. It's going to convert itself and actually going to convert itself into magnesium, going to convert itself into sodium and potassium. These are your alkaline minerals. Hold on, somebody asking the question on his phone. Yes. Yeah. No. So sulfur, phosphorus, and chlorine, free radicals and proteins. These are all the things that's going to be acidic forming to your body. Yeah, exactly. So look, so we checking that. Now we check that. So we got three things so far, family. We got the anti-nutrients, we got the dehydration, we got the metabolic acidosis. We done checked these things. Do you realize we done cured whatever disease you got going on? We done cured about 75% of it so far if you check these things. You see that? And the last but not least is toxic from your environment. We have to check the toxins from our environment. We got to check our clothes. Make sure that you're wearing 100% organic clothes, whether it's organic cotton, organic hemp, or organic linen. Make sure it's 100%. Do not mix your fabric. We have to understand that our skin and our hair actually goes into the environment, scans the environment by way of amino acid and electrical signals by the epithelial layers of our cells due to something called the membrane of the cells, and it brings back these different informations by way of the Merkle disc of your hair, because your hair is an extension of your nervous system, and it literally tells you how to interact with your environment. So we have to understand that we covering up our hair, we're covering up our antennas. So if you're gonna cover it up, make sure you ain't covering it up with too much of heavy clothes. So quit wearing these heavy ass clothes, y'all. Heavy clothes that's mixed with all these different fabrics, because not only is that going to mess up the interpretation and the signal that you're trying to scan the environment to get the information from, for you can figure out how to interact with your environment, but also guess what you're doing? You're also leaking all types of dyes and stuff into your skin. And these azo dyes are very, very bad because they cause skin cancer. It causes melanoma. It causes all types of lymphomas. It causes testicular cancer. It actually shuts down the prostate. It causes erectile dysfunction. That's why they say men should never wear black jeans. Black jeans causes prostate cancer in males. And that's why women should never wear panties. Let your vagina breathe, because that actually causes all types of reproductive cancer or cervical cancer in females. So look, we came out with our clothes on, family, which is our skin. Then we was tricked into believing that these are our clothes. But if these were our clothes when we was created and we came out of our mother's wombs, we would have came out with this shit already on. But we didn't. We started learning to put this on 3 days within the hospital. Now they doing it the first day in the hospital. They automatically putting us on clothes. They washing up all of the mucous membrane that's protecting us from our outside environment. So the whole entire concept of the allopathic community and the way of this Western world is so ass backwards that we start dying literally soon as we come from the womb. We start killing ourselves. The environment killing us. Mama killing us because she was educated wrong. Pop's killing us because if he's in the household because he was educated wrong. And if he ain't in the household, that's a war tactic against us anyway. You see what I'm saying? So it's war waged on us while we in our mother's bellies and as soon as we come out of our mother's bellies, y'all. So we have to check the toxins. The best way to check the toxins is instead of using bottled water. I know this is bottled water right here. I wish I could find it in glass, y'all. But it's steps to this. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't drink out of bottles all day, every day. I drink a lot of fruit juices. But get away from, and this is BPA free. Get away from bottled waters. Run fast from those. Start getting glass bottles and get your water in that. You see that? That's a first step. That will cut out a lot of estrogen. Estrogen is emasculating the black man like a motherfucker, y'all. I'm talking about it's straight turning him into a feminine being. All that estrogen is throwing off. It's a teeter-totter, and it's a big fight between estrogen and testosterone right now. And right now, estrogen is winning because it's in your foods. It's most definitely in your damn meats. It's in your bottled water. It's in your water supply. It's in all of the plastic containers that you saving your food in. It's in your refrigerator. And I know all of this stuff sound like, damn, Yahki, we can't do nothing. We can't do a damn thing. That's not true. Everything that I'm mentioning right now, guess what, family? You can control. You can control the food you eat. Start growing your own. I have a seed program. We give away thousands of seeds. You see what I'm saying? There's many open seed programs other than me that's out here where you can go get seeds from. See that? When you walk in a grocery store, you have a choice. You got a choice whether to go to the produce section or to go to the pretty looking section. That's you that don't want to go to the produce section. Organic is too expensive, but you pay rent, don't you? My life is more important than fucking rent. Just saying. My life is more important than paying some damn bills. My food come before anything in my household other than my family. Our lights might get cut off. You see that? Our electricity might get cut off. We might not have no running water, but damn Skippy, me and my children gonna have some food though. So food is number one. So I don't want to hear, oh, organic is just too expensive. You paying rent, ain't you? Ain't you paying rent? Don't you got them new shoes on? Didn't you just go clothes shopping? When you just at that Beyonce concert? I ain't trying to hear nothing about none of that shit. Straight up, we have to get our priorities in order. That's the issue. It ain't the money that's the issue, is your priorities. So first thing to do is start making the righteous choice to love yourself enough and say, you know what, even though it don't taste good right now, since I'm detoxing my body, I'm going to detox my tongue, which is going to detox the hair on my tongue, which is going to detox my taste buds. I'm going to develop a liking for these foods because these foods were naturally made to assimilate with my chemistry of my body in the first place. So it might taste nasty and it might be boring for the first month or two, maybe hell, even up to 6 months. You know what I'm saying? But guess what? After this 180 days or whatever we going through, this shock therapy, I'm going to develop a liking for this produce food. You see that? So start making a conscious effort, even if it's not every day of the week. Start doing Mondays or Moon Day. You go pick some produce. Then Tuesdays, eat your bullshit. You know what I'm saying? But Wednesday, be back on it. That way, you're at least balancing out the chemistry. Y'all eating bullshit every single day, family. Every day, you're weakening your so-called immunological system, or what I'm going to call the lymphatic defense system, which is the sewage system or the detoxification elimination pathway of the body. You blocking it up every day because you're eating food that don't even have nutrients in it. And not only does the food not have nutrients in it, but the food actually is acidic forming. So every other day, just choose to do the right thing. Balance the chemistry out at least. Start doing that. Next, dehydration. Okay, you like your sodas and stuff. I don't recommend it. It kills the kidneys. It gives you all types of urinary tract cancer, urinary tract infections. I mean, look, let me show you what soda does to the kidneys. This is what soda does to the kidneys. This is a kidney, y'all. Look at all of these stones. Look at the nephrons. They're corroded with acidosis. And look at all of this. This is calcium bicarbonate. This is what happens when you drink soda and you don't drink enough H3O2 or enough H2O. This is what happens to the kidneys. Do you know the kidneys is literally the life to the blood? Because without the kidneys, it's impossible for you to circulate and regulate oxygen with iron phosphate within inside of the blood, y'all. And most of y'all kidneys look like this right now. And when the kidneys go down, guess what else go down with it? The heart. Because the heart and the kidneys are closely assimilated with each other. I'll call them twins, or I'll call them brothers and sisters. And in some lectures, I call them husband and wife. Because that's how close they are together. This is what we doing to our kidneys. It's a real life-size kidney. Dehydrated kidney, y'all. This is what's going on. That's calcium deposits. Why is the calcium there? The calcium is there to buffer out the what, y'all? The acids. So the more acids you have in your body, or the more toxins you have in the body, or more dehydrated your body is, or the more anti-nutrients you taking into the body, calcium in the mucosal membrane is going to have to respond. And when acids mix with what? Calcium, it solidifies. And this is what you call crystallization of calcium. Crystallization of calcium bicarbonate. See that? So calcium is not a good thing when it's overly produced in the body, because calcium is a defense mechanism. It's your most electrical mineral in the body. It's the highest electrical mineral in the body. The iron, or what they call iron phosphate, is your most highly electrical magnetic mineral in the body, meaning it attracts all other minerals in the body. You see that? So now this is going to bring me to my last thing, y'all. All these things, anti-nutrients, dehydration, metabolic acidosis, toxics from the environment. All of this bring into the cause of the root cause of all diseases. And that's the lack of oxygen to the cells. Y'all, oxygen is so important, family. I don't think y'all understand the actual essential, critical role that oxygen play in your everyday life, because you just walk around here and you take breath for granted all day. You take breath for granted so much that your ass don't even breathe properly. I know that sounds crazy, but let me say that again. You take the breath, the neshama. Yes, the ruach hakodesh in Hebrew, or the neshama, the breath. You take it for granted so much that you walk around all day and you don't even breathe properly. You probably, and I'm not talking about you, I want to really hit on one of your pain points for you can start doing differently tonight. You haven't taken a perfect breath all day. You don't even know how to breathe. You've been mouth breathing your whole life, dying faster, bringing in all type of acids and unwanted bacteria and microorganisms because you're not going through the filtering mechanism. Think I'm playing? Let me show you something. Let me show you. Let me show you. Do y'all see this? Let me stand up. I want y'all to see this. See that? This is a teeth. So that means the mouth down here. So this is a big old nasal passage. You see that? When you breathe in through the nasal passage, you see how many filters that goes through these areas to actually cool the air down, because air come in very, very cold. It cools it down. It filters out all the waste that you doesn't need. It decompresses the air that you need, because your body is a combustion chamber. Yes, it's called, yes. Yes. We talking about bio pressure. So when you take a nasal breath, all of that oxygen goes to the brain and goes to the lungs. You need oxygen to the brain to think. Not only that, you actually need oxygen for your cells to produce ATP. The whole entire point of your body is to produce energy for you can actually experience your reality and gather the information. That way, when you transition and incarnate, whether you incarnate in another realm or you reincarnate in this realm to do it over again, a lot of us have to get out of this reincarnation cycle. Whether you reincarnating here or you incarnating in another dimension of density, you have to take all the information from your experience back to your higher self, or who we call God, or El Elyon, or the Most High El Gabor, and then you give that information into this higher consciousness called God. That way God can further expand his consciousness on his own creation. Do you know you cut that process in half when you don't breathe correctly? That's what we need energy for. When you breathe in through your nasal passage, a lot of the air go through your maxillary cavities behind your eyes, and it goes into your brain. It passes the blood and brain barrier, and it goes through your brain by way of spinal fluid, and it literally feeds the dendrites of your brain. The other half go into your lungs. This then go through blood capillaries in your lungs and be fed by way of the blood capillaries into the bloodstream. Immediately when oxygen get into your lungs and get into the bloodstream, it attaches itself to a molecule or element called iron phosphate. Iron phosphate then acts as a transportation system of oxygen, and it goes throughout each individual bloodstream of your body, and it distributes itself to each individual cell. The cell then opens up the actual Golgi apparatus in the mucosal membrane around the cells, and it swallows up the oxygen molecule. The moment it swallows up the oxygen molecule, it goes through cellular respiration. It goes through its translation and its transcription, of course, but when it goes through cellular respiration, guess what eats this oxygen? oxygen. The mitochondria is one of the oldest bacteriums in your body. They say it's over 100 billion years old. One of the oldest. I literally think that we are the mitochondria, and the mitochondria was smart enough to make itself a body to experience reality. That's what I think. That I got a whole study and paper that I want to publish on that because it's mind blowing, but I think I'm gonna write a book or something on it. But look, the mitochondria literally eats this oxygen, and when it eats this oxygen then breaks down into carbon dioxide. This carbon dioxide is called a carbon constituent chain. This carbon is a sugar. This sugar then ferments more and turns into a glucose factor. This glucose factor breaks down to water. That water that is broken down for the carbon dioxide and that glucose turns into a fuel. The cell then uses that fuel to burn it for energy, and then it creates something called ATP. Right, adenosine triphosphate, AMP, adenosine monophosphate, ADP, adenosine diphosphate. And this is what you use for vitality or fuel to live your everyday life. So when people are running or people got energy, you got energy to talk your smack. You got energy to rap, to sing, to converse. You got energy to make love, to procreate. You got energy to go to work. You got energy to wake up in the morning to thank God that he gave you breath for you to wake up again, he or she. Whichever one y'all want to identify with. I'm feeling masculine right now, so I'm going to say he. That is adenosine triphosphate. So just by you having a living heartbeat, it takes ATP. Just by you having a thyroid that regulates your temperature, your basal temperature. Yes, that protrude your eyes and make your eyes see correctly. Just look, every cell in your body requires ATP. ATP cannot be fired off without oxygen. Without ATP, you will be stiff and dead as a damn doorknob. So guess what the most important thing in our body is? Oxygen. Because oxygen is not only the neshama and the ruach hakodesh, but it's the kayim, the life. It's the life that's in the blood. So we need that for consciousness because oxygen fuel consciousness. Even when you're in a different realm, there's going to be another element in another body to fuel your consciousness. You will never go to no dimension without a body. When you in this three-dimensional thing, you got a body called the avatar. When you're in your dream state, guess what? You in the body. That's why you can never really see your face in the dream state because you're still operating in another body. When you're daydreaming, you're in the body. When you're manifesting, you're in the body. There is no dimension of density in existence where you can operate without a body. Now, you might not have terrestrial or celestial flesh, but you're going to have some type of vehicle and avatar for your consciousness to experience reality in. And guess what? That avatar is going to take some type of element. Well, in the earthly realm, the element that we need for our avatar is called oxygen. And you don't even know how to breathe it in correctly. Then when you breathe it in correctly, you eating the wrong foods because you eating nutrient depleted foods, or you're not hydrated enough. You can't even metabolically utilize the oxygen that you bringing in. Ooh, we got to talk about that. Now, this is where disease come in at, because when the cells start lacking oxygen, guess what? The body is smart enough to go another route. And this route is called fermentation. See that? You have aerobic and you have anaerobic processes. When you go through the aerobic process, that's when the actual cells, when it go through its cellular respiration or breathing stage, the mitochondria takes the oxygen, turn that oxygen to the glucose break down into the carbon dioxide turn into water, and then you use the oxygen to water to actually create fuel. Now, when you go the anaerobic way, because you're not producing enough oxygen, what happens is the cell's going to be like, damn, well, if I don't produce energy, I'm going to die. So what happens is the bacteria inside of your body starts fermenting every damn thing in your body, and it ferments glucose or fructose sugar to the point where it suffocates the cells, and that suffocation creates mold, and then it yields ATP from there. Now, the yielding of ATP from actual mold or fungus, or what you were going to call fermentation, to oxygen using it, it's by thousands and hundreds of thousands of acres of energy. That's how far it is. So when you go the anaerobic way and you use fermentation to get your ATP, the cells is not getting oxygen. When the cells are not getting that much oxygen, it makes the mitochondria works harder, y'all. The harder the mitochondria work, the larger they die in population, and then now you can't reproduce them a lot. When your body start lacking mitochondria to yield ATP, this is when the DNA get damaged, because now you're messing with the DNA because the mitochondria is in the DNA. Now the DNA start replicating itself improperly. Now you're going through something called uncontrollable cellular mitosis. This bring on cellular apoptosis. Apoptosis means cellular death. Now, uncontrollable cellular mitosis or meiosis is when the cell starts to produce themselves and they start to divide and you can't control it because the DNA is the information. It's actually the blueprint for a cell rebirthing cycle. So now since the cellular rebirthing cycle is messed up because it don't have no damn oxygen, it just do what the fuck it want to do. So now it's going to give you 300 node cells. That's going to be a clunk. It's going to look like this. Then it's going to give you 300 breast tissue cells. Let me show you what 300 breast tissue cells look like. Then it's going to give you 300 breast tissue cells. Let me find it. Where we at, y'all? 300 breast tissue cells. Where's my titty at? Where's the tit, family? I can't even find it right now. Hold on. Let me take the phone with me. I'm looking for the tit. Tell me if y'all see it before me. I see one breast right here, but I'm looking for the one that actually have a cancer growing in it. That's an ear. That's a baby. Damn, I want to show y'all this example. That's crazy. Like, it just disappeared, y'all. Well, anyways, back to it since I can't find it. Damn, that's crazy as hell. What the hell my breast at? Anyways, back to it before I lose my train of thought. So anyways, after that, all of these different cells start clunking themselves together, and coagulated cells stuck together that borrow blood supply and that is actually using glucose, fermented glucose or sugars to grow itself is what you call cancer. So all diseases that go unchecked actually end up being cancer. All cancer is a coagulated body full of cells, and these cells have literally mutated, malignant cells mutating, and then stole the blood supply, and then they start growing because of that. That's what you call cancer. But y'all, I ain't gonna lie, my mind messed up right now, y'all. Because, like, where is that other breast at? Here it go, y'all. Here go the breast. I found it. So check out, yes, that's what you call tumors, y'all. So check this out, family. Look at that. These are a bunch of cells. Notice the lymph. These are this is the lymphatic system. These are what you call lymph nodes. These are called axillary lymph nodes. When these lymph nodes are up in the neck, they're called cervical lymph nodes. They're called neurological lymph nodes when they in the brain. But when they under the armpits and in the breast, they're actually called axillary lymph nodes. So check out these axillary lymph nodes. Look at what the axillary lymph nodes are trying to clean out. They're trying to clean out a triple negative invasive breast cancer because all of these cells are messed up because it's going through fermentation to yield its ATP other than oxygen way. So when it's going through its anaerobic state and you can't use oxygen because you're not getting the right amount of oxygen to the body, you go through that uncontrollable cellular meiosis or cellular apoptosis, and these cells coagulate or what I call agglomerate together, and this is what you call a tumor. Notice where it's at. Hopefully these start being broken down and it move through the lymphatic system. They scare y'all to death because they say, oh my God, it have metastasized inside the lymphatic system. So y'all get scared. But that's where we want it to go, because if it goes inside of these lymph nodes will break it down by way of macrophages, and by way of macrophages, and it'll go through something called phagocytosis, and it'll break these cells up to bring it through the kidneys where you can process these things out by way of a fontanelle, or what you'll call an alternative route of elimination. See, look at all these cancerous cells starting to be formed, all because it's going through the wrong way of oxidation. We need oxygen for ATP, family. And that's why diaphragmatic breathing is very, very important, because when you diaphragmatic breathe properly, you actually moving one of the biggest lymphatic associated tissues on the body. It literally sits right here, and it's called the cisternal colli. And what the cisternal colli does is it opens up the whole entire body. It sits right here, and it opens up the whole entire body for you can start pulling everything to these lymph nodes. These lymph nodes can then start breaking down all that toxemia and metabolic waste, where you can get it to the kidneys and you can process these things out. So do y'all got the 5 ways yet? Huh? The first one was we have to avoid anti-nutrients, family. My bad, y'all. I took one phone and I took the Instagram phone. I'm sorry, y'all. They tripping on my Facebook page. They're like, dang, you just took the phone. You ain't take us with you. Yeah, y'all. The second one is dehydration. We got to check dehydration. The third one was metabolic acidosis. We have to make sure that we're eating alkaline forming foods. It can be acidic starting off, because that's all of your fruits are acidic starting off. Then it's alkaline forming at the end. Second one, we have to check the toxemia in our environment. And last but not least, we have to make sure we get an adequate amount of oxygen to our bodies for ATP exchange. Yes, somebody put it in there for me. Matter of fact, the first person that put it in there for me in a row, I will send y'all some 3 bitters. The first person that put it all in together, the 5 ways to heal yourself quickly. Whoever get it first, whoever I see first, should I say. What is 1 through 5? 1 through 5, who got it? Who got 1 through 5? Who got it? 1 through 5. Who trying to get a thing of 3 bitters? Y'all got to do it 1 through 5, y'all. Name it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Who gonna win the pop quiz? Okay, hold on. We got Dominique Jules. Avoid anti-nutrients, dehydration, metabolic acidosis, toxemia in the environment. Yep, there you go. So look, Dominique Jewel, hit me up in my inbox right now, and I'm gonna have Kawhi pack you up some 3 bitters. We got a 3 bitter winner, Kawhi.
All right.
Yeah. So look, that's who got it right, y'all. Dominique Jewel got it right. Yeah, her name Dominique Jewel. Dominique.Jewel. I'll make sure we get that shipped out. We got some 3 bitters on deck right now, don't we?
Yep.
All right, we ship it out first thing tomorrow. Just make sure you hit me up in my inbox. I got you. I promise you I have the employees get it out to you first thing tomorrow morning. All praises, family. Yeah. Oh, hey, y'all want to see my iridology camera? Check out the iridology camera. Let me show y'all something. This part go to your iris. Let me turn it on. This literally goes up to your eye like this. You take a picture of it, and I can tell you everything that's going on inside your body. All right, any questions y'all got? I'll answer some questions for a minute before I get up out of here. Yeah, Dominique Jules won, y'all. I'm sorry. She got it first. How do the 3 bitters last in the fridge? How long do they last in the fridge? I say up to about 3 months. You should take them bitters as soon as you get them. Remember what I was saying? When you get herbs like that, especially when they fresh, and we just dried them and you get them, take them as soon as you get them. Start taking them. Don't wait a year or don't wait 6 months. As soon as you get them bitters. And once you get the bitters, you take them every day until they gone. A lot of people ask, you know what I'm saying? Thank you about the room. A lot of people ask how long could they last? No, you take them till they gone. Or they say, what's the instructions? Am I supposed to take them every day and then what they say, lay myself off a week? No, take them every day until they gone, family. Thank y'all for giving the room compliments. This is the clinic. This is the herbal store. I would show y'all, around, but I got secret spots and I don't want the government knowing everything I got up in my place. But this is the storefront side of it. We got warehouses and everything up in here. This deal go hard. Can I take them while pregnant? No, you cannot take the 3 bitters while pregnant. The 3 bitters are some of the strongest combination of herbs on the earth, and it will detox your baby up out of you. So no. Where can I get the link to the tickets for the lecture? We haven't put up the lecture yet. Kawhi ain't entered it in yet because the college haven't signed the contract yet. Once the college signs the contract, we'll make the tickets and y'all be able to order the tickets straight from off the website. The new website is done. Tomorrow, I'm going to do a live showing y'all the new website, but we haven't launched it yet. So the website, www.yahkiawaken.com, is the old website. The new website will still be www.yahkiawaken.com. But it is going to look totally different, y'all. It's powerful. You can actually go on there and you can book an appointment for the clinic. You can come chill with us. You can come read with us. You can come get an iridology reading. You can come do all types of stuff here at the clinic. So that'll be available on the new website, which should be up in about a week or two. I keep pushing it back because it just ain't right yet. You know what I'm saying? I got to book a trip. Yeah, book a trip. We do more than iridology readings. We do lymphatic defense tissue massages. We do a little bit of everything. We do breath work here, all of that. Can I come purchase in person? Yeah, but you're going to have to book you're going to have to book a date to come here. This is not open to the public. You have to be a member. The membership on the site as of right now, it doesn't work. And the reason why it don't work is because we waiting on the new site membership. So a lot of people be like, Yahki, I'm trying to fix my membership. There is no membership on the current site, y'all. There is no membership on the current site. Membership is on the new site that y'all haven't seen yet. Well, there's no paid membership. You can go on there. Yeah, you don't have. So you can have to be a membership, but you ain't got to pay. You ain't got to pay to be a membership at all. So you literally just go on there and you buy something. The moment you click I agree to that long disclaimer when you first go on YahkiAwaken.com, you are technically a member. You can go, you can buy whatever you want. The store is located in St. Louis, Missouri. And it's not a store, it's a clinic, y'all. How to lose a lot of weight. First, you got to figure out what weight you got. Do you got visceral fat? You got stored up glycogen? Is your liver down? You know, if you look at what fat is, and if you biopsy fat, especially leptin fat cells, and you cut these cells open, you see a lot of toxemia in them. Usually overweighted people is unhealthy people. And the reason why you're gaining a lot of visceral fat is because what visceral fat does is it isolates toxemia within the body, for the toxemia will not go into the bloodstream. So the more toxics you have in the body, the more glycogen and glycagon and the more leptin fat cells you're going to build up to actually isolate the toxins, for you won't kill yourself. That's why the moment you start detoxing the body, you start losing weight very, very rapidly, because all of that weight was nothing but toxemia, but the body created fat cells to actually isolate the toxemia chemistry from killing you by tainting your blood. So that's all fat is. Fat is toxins. When you get rid of toxins and you detoxify the body, you start losing weight. All right. How much does it cost? How much does what costs? Or you coming to Chicago? Yeah, we're going to be coming to Chicago. I got to get up with Nook and D, and we're going to figure out how to get there and do that. Can I purchase a consultation? Yes, you can purchase a consultation. Kawhi, what was going on with that consultation link?
So when you purchase a consultation, don't click pay now.
So she's saying when you purchase a consultation, you don't click pay now, because the pay now button don't work. So when you click on consultation, you click through PayPal, but do not click pay now. Click out the PayPal checkout.
You're going to click PayPal, and then it's going to give you an option. If you don't have a PayPal account, that's okay. You can still pay with a debit or credit card.
So that's the issue. People are being confused about it. So when you go and you click out through PayPal, you still can use your debit or credit card. You don't have to have an actual PayPal account to shop on the current website. But the pay now or the pay here button don't work. A lot of people are clicking on that pay here button, and that's the reason why you can't book your consultation. And consultations is $100. It's more if you want to directly talk to me. And I promote and I suggest y'all to talk to Kawhi. I taught her everything she know. She's very, very well advanced. She done healed a lot of diseases. She know exactly what she's talking about. She ain't going to say nothing different than what I will say. Come to ATL. Of course, we're coming to ATL. That's like my second home. The iridology readings is $275, y'all. It's $275. When you coming to New York? We tried to come to New York. New York ain't messing with us. Am I lying, Jay?
No, sir.
New York said no. They talking about that all of my followers got to have COVID tests. They want to do COVID testing on the spot, and you got to have records of your shots and all types of crazy stuff just to even go to New York. We said we ain't doing all of that. We don't believe in all of that. So, of course, we ain't going to promote that just to have a show. So people in New York going to have to come to New Jersey. Now, we will be in New Jersey. We is coming to New Jersey, but we ain't coming to New York. Let me get out of here if I start having you leak it.
I'll show you. Like, I hope he don't do it.
Jay in there working on the first episode, y'all, of Food Forensic Investigation. It goes so hard, man. I mean, it's amazing, y'all. I want to give y'all a sneak peek, but that's going to be breaching contract, so I can't do it. Let's see. Detroit needs you. I was just in Detroit, 4 to 6 months ago? We did a big seminar in Detroit. It was powerful. It was at Wayne State University. We coming back this year, so we'll be back in there. What is her handle? Kawhi, what's your Instagram?
It's Goddess Kawhi.
How you spell Goddess? Do you spell it Godis or Goddes?
The second one.
So it's Goddess Kawah, GODDESS, GODDESSKAWAH, Goddess Kawah. I'm following her. I'm only following 4 people on my Instagram, y'all. She's one of them that I'm following. So make sure y'all subscribe to her. Make sure y'all follow Danny too, Chef Danny. Slide through Boston. You coming to Miami? Yes, we actually, Miami is my second home. I'm in Miami once a month. But we actually doing our opening up our school in Miami. It's gonna be an online school. We actually gonna have online in-person classes, and we starting that in Miami. Nabi, when I go live, the next time I go live, my manager Nabi gonna be live with me. And he gonna tell y'all the dates and where we coming to every place. Is that the Netflix show? Yes, that's the Netflix show. It's called Food Forensic Investigation. I want to leak it so bad and show y'all just a minute of it, but I can't. But it goes so hard, y'all. I'm telling you, this is going to be the best show since forever, I'm telling you. What you laughing at? I do want to leak it.
Look, because if you could have, you would already did it.
Sinus issues, tell me more. Whenever you got sinus issues, that means the biometric pressure of the earth is having a negative impression on the biometric pressure that's inside of your body. Sinus issues mean you have a lot of acids inside of your bodies. The sinus is stimulated by the mucosa membrane. So usually when the mucosa membrane is overstimulated, it's because it's too much acids present inside the body. So you need to detox and you need to get rid of acids. You need to cleanse out your maxillary cavities, clean out your eyes, cleanse out your ears, relieve some of that biometric pressure from your ears. You need to eat a lot of astringent fruits, like eat astringent fruits. For instance, grapefruits, that's a astringent fruit. Key limes, that's a astringent fruit. Regular limes, that's a astringent fruit. Lemons, that's a astringent fruit. Green apples, that's a astringent fruit. Concord purple grapes and green grapes. These are all astringent fruits that will actually break down the mucosa, thin it out, and you'll be able to actually get it out of the body. Another thing is you need to cleanse the gut wall. There's plenty of herbs here that can cleanse the gut wall. I mean, plenty of them. You got Cascar Sagrande is a good herb to cleanse the gut wall. You have slippery elm that's good to cleanse the gut wall. You have you have a lot of them. Gentian root is good to cleanse the gut wall. Gravel root is good to cleanse the gut wall. So, or you can get my 3 bitters from off my website, www.yahkiawaken.com. The 3 bitters will actually clear up your sinus and it will cleanse out your bowels, your lymphatic system. It cleanses your skin and it cleanses all of your major organs. That'll be a good one. And most definitely make sure that you on a astringent fruit diet. So I say do about a 3-day cleanse on a astringent fruit diet, then spend the rest of the week on your sweet fruits or your subcitric fruits, and then be on the 3 bitters, and make sure that you get some things for the GI tract, and that'll be very, very good for you. Eucalyptus oil will be good, or go to Whole Foods and buy you some eucalyptus leaves, wrap them around your shower head, as long as you got a filter, and then you steam up that bathroom and you do deep diaphragmatic breaths through the nasal passage, out of the nasal passage. While you in that shower, breathe in that aroma from that eucalyptus that will open up your nasal passageways, and that will actually cause the inflammation of the sinus cavities or the sinus tissues to go down, and you will be able to expectorate a lot of the excessive mucus outside of the body. Sleep apnea is a breath problem. That means you're a mouth breather. A lot of people, over 55% of people that actually go to breathing classes, within a week, sleep apnea they're done with it. They don't even suffer from that no more. So I think you need to take some diaphragmatic breathing lessons, brother. Slippery elm and aloe juice gets you going. Yeah, the aloe juice. So I don't really use aloe juice internally, and the reason why is it even though it goes in alkaline, I've seen a lot of research to say that it leaves acidic blowback. So it goes in alkaline, but it don't convert into alkaline. It actually leaves back phosphorus, chlorine, and that makes it acidic once it goes through its metabolic waste, once it goes through its metabolic process. But topically, I love aloe vera, rubbing it on topically. It's very good mixed with grinded up burdock leaf for burn patients. So people that have burns, 3rd-degree burns, grinded up burdock leaf powder with aloe vera is very, very good to put on topically on top of the skin. But ingesting it internally and eternally, I don't recommend it because it is acidic forming. Can you gain weight on an all fruit diet? Yes, you can. You can gain weight on an all fruit diet. The issue is a lot of us haven't lost the weight that we don't need, and there's something wrong with the 4 keys to the kingdom. Shouts out to one of my teachers, Dr. Morris. I talk about this all the time and I love him because me and him, we disagree on a lot, but I agree with him more than I would agree with any other teacher, to be honest with y'all. Like, me and him have the same mindset when it comes to the frugivore diet and it comes to the anatomy of man. Man, his disagreement is when it comes to the biochemical molecular structure in Caucasians and in melanated Aboriginals and Africans and in Asians. You know, I believe, and I've proven to him and to everybody all the time, that our biochemical molecular structure is different from one another's. But, you know, I'm not saying he disagree with me, but he don't teach that. That's my only disagreement with him. Other than that, man, him teach the same thing. Like, to me, that's one of my favorite teachers. I'm gonna be honest with y'all. So that's why I sound a lot like him. We have the same ideology when it comes to healing, especially when it comes to the frugivore diet. You see what I'm saying? But yeah, man, healing is amazing, y'all. This is one of the best things that you can truly get into. How can I order seeds from you? You don't buy seeds from me. We give seeds away for free, and we usually do it at our seminars. Shouts out to Mama Makeda. I love you, Mama Ima. She's out there in San Diego, California. Me and her started the seed program together last year, and it's been doing real good. Hundreds and hundreds of people have been growing beautiful gardens from the seeds that we've been providing, which is 100% organic heirloom seeds too. Most of these seeds you will never find in your life again. Straight up. What is good for the nails? Magnesium, calcium, and biotin is good for the nails, or what they call biotin. And all these things is naturally in your foods. So you just need to make sure you're eating your fruits and vegetables. You can get your calcium from your kale. A lot of people want to get it from they spinach. I wouldn't get it from spinach per se, because spinach have oxalates and it start producing too much calcium. Then that calcium turns into calcium bicarbonate. And then you're going to have what I just showed y'all, calcified kidneys. Straight up. But it say, I want to heal my son since he's in. Damn, that just left quick. Where'd that go? What about anemia? Hold on. Y'all going so fast, y'all. Anemia, all anemia is the body, doesn't have the ability to utilize iron. All the severe anemic or anemia or sickle cell anemia clients that we deal with, they're getting the right adequate amount of iron phosphate in the body, but their adrenals is not utilizing the iron. So what happens is the iron gets stored up inside of the liver, and then the liver corrodes or try to break down the iron through the NRF2 pathway. And what happens is the iron starts to corrode and oxidate. And when iron rusts, it turns yellow, and then it turns into bilirubin. And this bilirubin then gives you that jaundice look. So people are getting the right amount of iron. There's iron in everything. You know, and that's crazy that it's iron in everything that we eat, but still we're iron phosphate deficient. It shows you that the iron uptake is not the problem. So, you know, when and just like I was talking about, when you go through the 4 keys to the kingdom, you have digestion, absorption, utilization, and elimination. A lot of us is digesting iron. A lot of us is even absorbing iron, meaning it's being absorbed into the bloodstream, but it's not being utilized. And the reason why it's not being utilized is because the adrenal glands. Now, since it's not being utilized by the adrenal glands, this is going to stop it from its elimination process or pathway. So the iron stores up in the liver and starts to corrode the liver. So if you turn the adrenals on, because the adrenals is in control of your mineral utilization, is in control of most of your amino acid synthesis, it's in control of your sugar metabolism, whether we're talking about fructose or glucose, even most of your galactose and sucrose. All this is by way of the actual adrenal glands. Your steroids utilization, your lipid-based transport by way of the liver. That's what the adrenal glands do, because the adrenal glands is in control of the autonomic nervous system, things that runs on autopilot, your breathing, which runs on autopilot, your blinking, your seeing, your breath work, the way your lungs actually dilate and constrict. the way the lungs pump the blood throughout the body, your heart valve opening mechanism that they call a pump, which is not. It just runs on a rhythmatic frequency due to melanin. All these things are actually utilized by the adrenal glands, and the adrenal glands is called the enteric or the intrinsic nervous system. So it's called the enteric or the intrinsic nervous system. And the reason why they call it that is because the adrenal gland sits in the middle of your body. You have three brains. Your first brain is the adrenal gland, so what you would call the solar plexus. And that's where the adrenal gland sits. It sits in the solar plexus. We are a solar people, meaning we are children of the sun. So that's the first brain. The second brain is what you would call the heart mechanism, or people call that the heart chakra. Then you actually have the third brain, which is called the central nervous system. And that's where you start literally getting into the third eye chakra, and you start getting into the keto or the crown. You know, a lot of people wants to build the house from the roof to the bottom, but a true house is built from the root up, from the root chakra all the way up. So that first major light code frequency spectrum that you get that permeate and beat at 432 terahertz, that's literally right there, dead beat in that stomach, between the root and the stomach. That's the first brain. You see that? So this inside of my head and this inside of my heart actually communicates with my adrenal glands. Then my adrenal gland literally tells these things what to do. So your stomach is your first brain. And that's the reason why if you want to control the mind of a people, you start with the food, because the food is the information that feeds the first brain, because the food goes directly into the stomach, into the small intestines, and throughout the duodenum, which is a 9-inch intestinal tract. And that's the way inside of the body. So if I want to attack your mind in the way you perceive reality, all I have to do is attack the food. I never have to attack you. I just have to attack your food, because your food feeds your first brain. The stomach produces more melanin neurotransmitters than the brain. The stomach and the heart gives off a bigger hue and electrical magnetic grid than the brain. More electricity and conductivity, and not only that, but actual hormones are produced in the stomach and in the heart than the brain. You have serotonin produced in the stomach. Melatonin, you can find that in the stomach. You can find everything that you need, you can find in the gut, because the gut is the first brain. The heart is the second brain. And then actually the brain that's in your head is the third brain. Most of your memories are actually in your gut. You see that? That's why when you think about something, you can get upset and you can get an upset stomach. Or if you see a dead body, or if you see roadkill, you throw up. Notice you initially get a gut feeling off these things. This is a gut sensation, showing you that the gut has its own nervous system. The gut has its own way of supply of blood. The gut have its own way of breathing, diaphragmatic breathing, true breath, how you really expand your lungs, or what you call your wings. That's by way of the gut. See that? And that's your center. And in order for you to center yourself, how people say center yourself, or in order for you to find yourself, you have to cleanse your gut and know your gut. See, you can't say you know who you are if you don't know what foods do to your body. You don't know who you are. You can't say you know who you are if you don't know what type of foods you can do to increase your availability of energy or not. You don't know who you are. In order to truly know you, you have to know your inward parts. And half of us can't even name 4 different body parts on our body, let alone 4 different organs on our insides. So a lot of us walking around saying we're conscious in the conscious community and don't even know where consciousness stems from. Your body is very, very important. This is your vehicle. This is the roadmap to the heavens and the earth. All religions is based off the body. All technology is blueprinted and based off the body. The cell phone comes from your mouth and ears. The speakers come from your eardrums. The actual catalytic or Cadillac converter come from your liver. The actual tailpipe, or what you call the exhaust system of a car, come from your intestines. A camera lens come from your eyes. Sensors come from your hair. Everything in reality that the man have created in all advanced civilizations and technology is a replication of the blueprint of the original melanated Aborigine man. Straight up, everything come from your body. Everything. You can't name nothing in creation that doesn't come from you. All religions come from you. All creations come from you. All mathematics come from the Fibonacci sequence and the sacred geometry of your body. How far that your organs are spread apart, the way they twist and turn, the environmental shape of them, everything about trigonometry, mathematics, the celestial realm. Even when you start studying different types of astrophysics. All of these things come from your body, the zodiac signs, the 12 zodiacs, or what you would call the 12 cranial nerves inside of the brain, the 12 disciples. All of this is a mirror image of the nerve systems in your brain. That is the roadmap. How it talks about the kingdom of God, how the garden set eastward in Eden, and it took 4 rivers to get to the actual Garden of Eden. This 4 rivers is talking about the 4 fluids, or what they call the ventricles inside of your brain. The first ventricle, the second ventricle, the third ventricle, which is where your pineal gland sits at, and then the 4th ventricle. And they're separated by cerebrospinal fluid. These are the rivers of Euphrates, the rivers of Pomesh, and these are the rivers of Haviyah, where in that land, in Genesis it said in that land they found gold. Where if you go to the pituitary gland, you find gold and copper. All these things are talking about your inward parts, family. There is no religion that's not talking about you. There is not, everything is about you. So if you want to be the smartest, most knowledgeable, wisest person on earth, master the body. Master the body. If you can master the body, you will have all the knowledge and you will be all knowing. If you master the body. Straight up, family, I'm telling you. Yes, and it's talking about the serpent being or Nakash, or what you call the reptilian being that actually got Eve to eat from the forbidden fruit. The forbidden fruit was the knowledge, unlocking the right side of your brain, because the right side is the knowledge creativity side. They wanted to keep us in our actual left brain, or what you would call the logical side. That's the lower self. That's the reptilian brain. Look it up. You have the mammalian brain, then you have the reptilian brain, then you have the cerebral cortex or frontal lobe brain. There's something literally called the reptilian brain. Y'all can Google it right now. Every last one of us got it. And that's where the serpent wanted to keep us. Well, that's where they say God wanted to keep us, in our serpent brain, state of fight or flight. The only thing we're worried about is obeying. And this is where you get the obedience gene. There's actually an obedience gene that have been installed in us. Not only was the obedient gene installed in us, but the telomeres, or that capping gene, was installed into our DNA too. But we can't live to be 120 no more. A lot of us is dying off at 60 to 100. All this stuff is real if y'all just look this up scientifically. So, to truly know oneself and to truly become God and walk and be God manifested in the flesh, you have to master the body. You have to become the Christ, or a part of the Christ consciousness. And that means that all 12 of your cranium nerves are stimulated, and you are the one. You're the 13. That's why there's really 13 months in a year. There's really 13 hours on the clock. That's why there's 13 different shells on the shell of a turtle, or what you would call Turtle Island, which makes up the ancient Americas. Before Pangea came and it broke off into all these different continents. It's all about the 13. And that's the one that leads the 12. You are the one, or the Christ, that leads the 12 cranial nerves inside of this earth. And if you can vibrate on a high level and bring up your hertz, and you bring all of your cells up into a vibration of 144, this is what they talk about, the 144,000 being able to, jump over walls and climb mountains and go to war with the wicked and the ungodly. That's you leveling up your hertz and literally activating all 7 of your chakras. And the only way to do that is to truly know that the body is the real temple of God. And how to activate the temple is through electricity, because the body is electric. And that's why I was telling y'all earlier that alkaline and acids is all about the conveyance of what? Electricity. That's the only way you can truly convey electrical matter, is by way of being alkaline and acid balanced, or what they call a state of ma'at. I know, y'all. Everything come from you, though. That's all I'm saying. Your body is the blueprint to everything. But y'all finna get up out of here, family. Yes, if y'all need any herbs whatsoever, www.yahkiawakened, YahkiAwakened.com. The new website will be ready very, very soon. If they can't go live and do stuff like this, it's not my page. There are hundreds and hundreds of pages pretending to be me. I think it's Instagram, because it's crazy how if somebody follow me, they hit me up and say, well, as soon as I followed you, this page followed me asking to do readings. I do not do readings. I don't ask you for no money over the web. All business is conducted by me and my entire team through the website, www.yahkiawakened.com. What you say?
Customer service email order.
in the customer service email. A lot of y'all are mad at us because y'all have been hitting the wrong email. If you want to get in contact with us, hit up orders at yahkiawaken.com. Orders at yahkiawaken.com. I'm saying it one more time. Orders with the S at the end at yahkiawaken.com. And y'all can holler at customer service. I'm going to say this live, y'all. I'm going to save it. All right, with that being said, I'm gone, y'all. Peace, love, light, and healing. Peace to the gods, peace to the earth. I love y'all. Truly, truly. And I hope y'all love yourselves and yourselves, because the body is made of 150 trillion of them that make up you. So love them dearly, y'all. Remember, these are 5 things to immediately start your healing. The first one was what? Stay away from anti-nutrients. The second one was what? Make sure that you're not dehydrated. The third one was what? Metabolic acidosis. The fourth one was what? Make sure that you are away from the actual toxins in your environment. And the fifth one was what all 4 of these bring. The lack of oxygen to the cells, which means you can't have cellular respiration, which means you cannot have adenosine triphosphate to produce energy. So if you fix these 5 things, which you can, because I showed you how in this video, you will heal your body of anything you're going through. And if you need help with it, just hit me up at yahkiawaken.com. Peace, family.